So tell me now, even the Olympics are coming in, and when you played as well, there's a very high fear of failure, because that's a 50-50. You would win, you don't know what's on the other side, but there's also a chance you will lose. And fully knowing that, where other people are watching, it's public. It's not like in an office you make a mistake and only the guy sitting next to you knew it, or one department knew it. The whole world knows it. How do you deal with that kind of pressure? And also understanding that other people have stakes in your success. So how do you deal with that when you're going on court? What's going on in your head? Or how do you even get up and go, knowing that there's a fair chance I would lose on such a massive scale?
I think for me, it's like you have to believe you're winning. And you have to prepare for things.
Because only one person will win.
But you have to believe you're that person. You have to kind of believe, and you have to behave. And
where does that come from?
You have to, whatever it takes, you have to still believe it. In the sense, it doesn't come, if it comes naturally by your performances, it has. But otherwise, it has to come from your preparations.
Yes, correct.
It has to come from your preparations. You have to prepare in a manner in which you give it 100%, and then you believe that this is going to magically work out for you, and you trust God or whatever, and then it should happen. Now, when you lose, you just lose. In the sense, it's like a big shock which has happened. I believe it's very important that the people around you should be prepared for that.
Correct. The stakeholders, the country, the fans, the audiences.
You cannot believe that there is an option of loss. But as a coach, I have to believe that there is an option of loss. There is a possibility that there is loss happening. The people around, the family, should be the safety net. You as a player should not have a safety net. You should just jump, believing that you're going to reach the top. Because if you believe in the safety net, then you'll never jump as high. And that is important. You cannot have one leg here, one leg there. You're never going to jump. I think the people who play, who want to win, should think that there's no going back. There's no going back. There's no falling off option. The only way is upwards. And I'll figure whatever is the way to get to the top. And that has to show up in your preparation and also in your matches. And if you lose, I think the rest of us will need to hold them. And that I think is very, very important.
And that's a high possibility.
It was 100%. In the sense, even if there's 1% hope of you winning, or 0.1, you should still believe, or 0% chance, you are on the path, you should believe I'm winning. And it's up to the rest of us to figure out the safety net. And till the time you're playing, you should play with the spirit that tomorrow morning is going to be different. And no matter how many I've lost, tomorrow morning, if I get a chance to win, I will grab it with both hands. So this is something which I tell students as well. If you get a chance, because see, there's sports which are different in the sense you could jump or you could run, and you're running against a clock. Although there is a certain amount of strategy and stuff, you still, if you're running 9.5 or 9.6, it's a watch. So you could do the best and you could win. You could jump higher and you could win, or you could lift weight and you could win. But you're playing a sport like badminton and you are not playing your best, but you could have it that you could still win because your opponent is even worse than you. So it's a real possibility. But then if you focus on yourself too much and start believing or thinking that I'm playing bad, you're not seeing the opposition playing worse than you. So you have a stomach ache, the guy has a whole body aching. So you've not slept, he's not slept at all. You're under pressure, he's much worse pressure. So when you get a chance, the braveness to capitalize and grab the opportunity with both hands is something which is very critical. I think that is an aspect which is very important. So people have to be brave to win. Because the unknown is not only on the negative side, the unknown is also on the positive side.
Yeah, exactly.
So people start imagining that if I win, what will happen? So in your head, you're thinking, if I win, I lift my hand this way, I will jump up like this. You're celebrating, you're imagining the celebration in your hand even before, in your head, even before you've actually won. So you mess that up. You're thinking next day papers, next day television, next day endorsement. You kind of created this whole imaginary thing when you're actually supposed to play.
Yeah.
Your job is to just put your head down and hit the shuttle properly and let the body think. And you want the mind to fabricating and imagining a hazard other things. So I think that would be the key point, in the sense to be able to be in that moment, to see that the opponent is given you an opportunity, and to actually grab it with both hands is also something which is very important as a champion or as a player, to seize the moment and be decisive about it. To be aggressive when it's required. You could be calm, sit back, looking at things, but when you see, you're like active and you kind of grab it with both hands and be aggressive at that moment and put the pedal on at that moment and then seize that moment is very important.